Hi everyone, Hare Krishna. I am Aishwarya with Raj Gopika Mataji and I welcome you all on Divine Echo. If you are new on the channel, then make sure to subscribe it. And in case you have missed our previous videos, then the links for it are in the description box of this video. So let's dive into our today's episode and our new question to Raj Gopika Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Aishwarya.
So, in the last episode, we have talked about the seventh verse of second chapter, wherein Arjuna surrenders unto Lord Krishna as his guru. And now, in the 11th verse of the same chapter, we can see that Arjuna is being called an ignorant by Krishna. Arjuna has already displayed all his intelligence in the first chapter through his arguments for not fighting the battle. But then now he becomes an ignorant person to Lord Krishna. And Krishna says to him that you are talking like a pandit, but you are not acting like one. So then, who pandit according to Lord Krishna? Who really do we call a pandit?
So now onwards, like from the 11th shloka onwards, Krishna takes over the role of a spiritual master. Sometimes a spiritual master may also take up a rasa of sarcasm. He might talk sarcastically with his disciple also when a bonding between the two is like very strong. So we see a bonding between Krishna and Arjuna has been very, very strong. So he is just, talking like that. Oh, you are talking like a pandit, but you don't even know this much. So one can say like that. Here, like Krishna is calling him an ignorant person. He's saying that you don't even know who a pandit is. So actually, according to Krishna, who is a pandit? A pandit means an intelligent person, one who knows,
Okay.
one who has the knowledge. So Krishna says the one who has the knowledge of body and soul is actually a pandit. He is a pandit. So here Krishna has taken up this role of a spiritual master, and he is now going to give him the knowledge of the body and soul. What is gross body? What is soul? The difference between the body and the soul. So Krishna speaks up of this philosophy in the next, I think, next 20 shlokas. And this is a very intense philosophy which Krishna is going to speak. And this intense and deeper philosophy actually is to be spoken in a very lighter manner, in a very lighter mood. And that is why Krishna is saying, oh, you are talking like a pandit, but you're not acting like one. So this is the way, Krishna has got his own manner in which he is now going to explain the knowledge of body and soul to Arjuna.
And furthermore, from 12th verse, Krishna talks about the knowledge of body and soul. So, can you please give a clarification on the body and soul and few other concepts like the gross body, subtle body, mind, ego, like false ego, and the intelligence for those people who are not exactly aware or not exactly familiar with these terms?
So here now we have to understand the basic knowledge of our existence. So our body is made up of 10 elements, out of which 8 are material elements and 2 are spiritual elements. So which are material elements? They are earth, water, fire, air and ether. These are 5 elements and these are gross elements. And besides these, there are 3 subtle elements, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. So, here in the seventh chapter, Krishna says, Bhumi Rapo Analavayu Khambh Mano Buddhi Evacha Ahankar Ityam Ye Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. This material energy of mind is constituted of 8 elements, and these are the material elements. But besides these material elements, 2 are spiritual elements, which are soul and the super soul. So these are the 10 elements from which our body is made up of.
So then what is the difference between mind and brain, Mataji?
Yeah, so mind is a part of subtle body. Mind is a part of subtle body, but brain is a part of gross body.
Yeah.
You got it? The gross body is made up of earth, water, fire, ether, and air. And the subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego.
False ego.
The mind is a part of subtle body, whereas the brain is a part of gross body.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So here now let us make it more simpler and try to understand in a better way, maybe through a example. Let us take an example of a computer system. Everybody is so familiar with the computer systems nowadays. They all understand each and every part of the computer system also. So we can say that the gross body is the hardware of the computer system. The hardware which is visible, like the keyboard, the screen, or the mouse, or etc., the printer. And the subtle body can be said to be the software of the computer, which is not seen. So the hardware is the gross body and the software is the subtle body.
Yeah.
But then we might have a hardware in the computer, we might have a software in the computer, but then still it will not operate. The computer system will not operate unless and until there is a electricity flowing through the system. So you need a plug point from where the electricity flows. So this plug point can be called as a soul, the soul of the body. Yeah. But then again, now let us go a little bit on ahead. Now we have a hardware system, we have software, we have a plug point also, but then still the system will not function unless and until there is a power getting generated from the powerhouse, which is coming to the plug point, and from the plug point it is being transferred to the system. So the powerhouse is the super soul. Powerhouse is super soul. So now you get to know that there is a super soul, there is a soul, there is a software, the subtle body, then there is the hardware, which is the gross body. And so these all work together and function in a body. So these are the concepts one has to know, that what is a gross body, what is a subtle body, what is a soul, and what is a super soul. And what is this power? This power is consciousness. And this consciousness is a symptom of soul. So our body is active, the body works only when there is consciousness in the body. And this consciousness is only a proof that there is a soul in the body. Because unless and until there is consciousness in the body is not active. It's like a light emanating from the soul. It's like a light which is emanating from the soul. So our body is active only when there is consciousness, which is a symptom of soul. Otherwise, the soul is so subtle, it's so minute, it cannot be seen neither through our naked eyes nor through the most powerful microscopes also. It cannot be seen.
Oh,
The only way to realize the soul in the body is the consciousness. Is the consciousness.
yes.
Just
Okay.
like the power, the electricity cannot be seen, it cannot be seen. But when the system operates, that means there is power, there is electricity. So we have learned now that there is soul in the form of power, the electricity. There is software in the which is compared to the subtle body. There is hardware which is compared to the gross body. And all these will not also work unless and until there is a power has been generated from the powerhouse. The powerhouse from where the power comes is also equally important. And what is this powerhouse? This is the super soul. This is the super.
Super soul.
So if we go to see all these concepts, there is a super soul which is compared to the powerhouse. There is a soul which is compared to the plug point. There is a subtle body which is compared to the software of the system. And there is a gross body which is compared to the hardware of the system.
Thank you for this wisdom, Mataji. And also thanks for the insights that you have given us from today's episode. To the viewers, if you loved watching it, make sure to like it, share with the loved ones, and comment below all your thoughts or questions. Hare Krishna.